I made this video to share what God has impressed upon me, and you went to YouTube because you're interested in the Bible, and YouTube, through its algorithm, showed you this video, and you clicked on it. This is all part of God's plan, and I hope you watch this video to awaken your spirituality and meditate on what God is saying to you. Just 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes a day, and you will see everything in your life slowly change. I want to preface this by saying that I didn't do any of this. The Holy Spirit did. Have you ever prayed with all your heart and seemed to get no response, making it hard to pray anymore? Or are you in that situation right now? What is prayer and how do we do it? We all find ourselves praying in one way or another, and it's because of an inherent restlessness within us. We feel this way because we recognize our own limitations and finitude. In the Bible, after Adam and Eve sinned, they were cast out of the Garden of Eden. The name of the land to the east of Eden is called Nod, which means to wander or to be unsettled. Nod is not only the name of a place, but also represents the state of humanity being distant from God. Therefore, it is inevitable that we feel anxious, wander aimlessly, and experience a sense of emptiness in our hearts. All humans carry this anxiety and emptiness within them. To feel anxious is to say that there is no rest in our hearts, and to lack rest indicates a kind of deficiency. As a result, we long for something to fill that deficiency. To pray means to hope that the deficiencies I feel can be filled through God's power. However, it's important to note that prayer is not just about following a specific form. Everyone prays in one way or another. For example, when a newborn baby cries, that is also a form of prayer. The baby is signaling, "I am hungry," reaching out for someone to help them. Similarly, when a farmer faces a natural disaster, with their homes swept away and crops destroyed by storms, looking up to the sky and letting out a sigh of despair is also a form of prayer. So when someone is going through severe hardships and kneels in a church or prayer center, raising their hands and crying out to God, that too is prayer. In essence, every human being cannot help but pray. It's simply because we are human. So, what is Christian prayer? For Christians, prayer is the breath of the soul. It is like inhaling and exhaling. Just as we cannot live for a moment without breathing, we cannot live a holy life without prayer. The essence of prayer is seeking the one who is the center of our souls amidst the harsh realities and difficult circumstances we face. As I mentioned earlier, humans are inherently empty, anxious, and in a state of restlessness, unable to guarantee anything in life. Prayer is the act of anchoring our troubled hearts to a place of eternal peace. However, many people tend to pray only when they are facing life's difficulties. What this implies is that they view prayer as a method for problem solving. Someone once said, "God, thank you for taking care of me over the past year, and thank you for answering my prayers despite my shortcomings. However, I am even more grateful for the prayers you did not grant." What? Grateful for the prayers that were denied? I found it hard to understand at first, but upon reflection, I began to see the reasoning. If everything I desired were to come true, would the world be a beautiful place? If flawed humans offered prayers to God to fulfill their individual desires, and if all those prayers were answered, would that world truly be beautiful? In my opinion, no. If the world flowed according to each person's desires, it would lead to devastating consequences. This is why I think the idea that sometimes God denies my prayers to teach me humility, and through that gives me a life of living together with others, could be seen as a blessing. To pray means to connect God's heart with my own, and I would like to express this as tuning. I see myself as the instrument and God as the musician. If I become too tense or too loose, I might not be able to produce my sound, which means God cannot play in that state. Therefore, we need to constantly seek God's heart and adjust our own hearts and intentions accordingly. That is prayer. When we are tuned this way, we can see the world through God's eyes. We can view ourselves and our neighbors anew. This is how life changes. But is there really no way to receive answers to our prayers? Well, there is one method, but due to time constraints, I'll return with part 2. If I don't get any feedback, I'll switch to another topic. Please let me know with your subscriptions and comments.